When was the last time you truly sat alone? Not as an escape, but as a return. For many, the idea of being alone feels threatening, like a silence we must fill or a space we must flee. But what if I told you that being alone is one of the most powerful experiences a person can have? Not a void to escape, but a wellspring of profound freedom. Aloneness is not the same as loneliness. Loneliness is a craving for connection we believe lies outside of ourselves. Aloneness, on the other hand, is the realization that we are not separate from life. It's standing at the edge of the ocean and feeling not just the waves on your feet, but the tides in your chest. When you are alone, truly alone, something remarkable happens. The constant noise of external demands, the roles, the labels, the endless striving begins to fade, and in its place is silence. Not the cold, empty kind, but the kind that holds the hum of the universe. A silence that allows you to hear your own thoughts without judgment and feel your own presence without resistance. The world has conditioned us to believe that solitude is to be avoided, that to be alone is to be incomplete. But in truth, aloneness is the space where we rediscover who we are beyond the stories we've been told. It's in this space that fear dissolves and creativity emerges. The greatest works of art, the most profound ideas, the deepest self-reflection, they are often born not in crowds, but in quiet. There is a paradox in solitude. When you truly embrace being alone, you no longer feel alone. You begin to see that the boundaries between self and other are illusions. In the stillness of solitude, you connect with life in its raw, unfiltered form. You become attuned to the rhythm of the wind, the song of the trees, and the pulse of your own being. Being alone is powerful because it frees you. It frees you from the need to be someone for anyone else. It frees you from the expectations of the world. And most importantly, it frees you from the fear of yourself. In solitude, you don't lose connection, you find it. So the next time you feel uneasy about being alone, don't reach for distraction. Sit with it. Feel it. Embrace it. In that space, you may discover that being alone is not about what's missing. It's about what's always been there, waiting for you to notice. True power doesn't come from what you have or who surrounds you. True power comes from knowing that you are enough, standing alone in the infinite now. In our day-to-day lives, we are deeply immersed in the belief that we are separate individuals, isolated in our thoughts, desires, and experiences. We draw thick lines around our identities. I am this, not that. I belong here, not there. I am me, and you are you. These lines seem so clear, so permanent. They tell us who we are, or so we think. But let us pause and look closer. Consider a wave on the surface of the ocean. We give it a name, wave, and in doing so we imagine it to be something distinct from the vast water it rises from. But is the wave ever truly separate from the ocean? Its rise, its form, its very existence depend entirely on the ocean beneath it. When the wave falls, does it disappear? No. It simply returns to the whole. In the same way, we are like waves on the great ocean of existence. Each of us appears distinct, with our own thoughts, bodies, and experiences, but beneath this surface lies a deeper truth. We are not separate from the world around us. The air you breathe was exhaled by the trees. The food you eat grew from the earth. Your heartbeat resonates with the rhythms of life all around you. And yet we cling to the illusion of separation because it feels safe. It gives us a sense of control, a sense of being someone in particular. But this illusion also creates fear. If I am separate from the world, then I must protect myself from it. If I am separate from others, then I must compete with them. And in this competition, we lose sight of a profound truth, our interconnectedness. Solitude has a way of dismantling this illusion. When you sit alone, without distraction, you begin to see beyond the surface. You realize that the self you've been protecting is not as solid as it seems. It's like a ripple on the water, real in its moment, but inseparable from the whole. This understanding doesn't diminish you, it expands you. It shows you that you are not just a wave, you are the ocean. In this realization, fear begins to dissolve. If you are not separate, then there is nothing to protect and no one to compete against. Life becomes less about defending your small self and more about embracing your vast self. This is the gift of solitude, the chance to step out of the noise and into the truth of your being. But embracing solitude is not easy. It requires courage. It requires you to face the parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. It requires you to sit with discomfort and resist the urge to escape. Yet, in this discomfort lies growth. In this stillness lies wisdom. When you can sit alone and truly be with yourself, you unlock a strength that no external validation can provide.